Hey Scorpio, this is Hybrid Hipster with your mid-February reading. I almost said January. Mid-February reading. I'm going to tap into your energy and see what you're working with within next 2 weeks. Just going to be a very general reading. Just keep that in mind. It's not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't, you can find another video within YouTube and oh my gosh, wow. Well, there's two. Find another video within YouTube. There is a lot of light workers out there that do a really good, I'm gonna move this, it's gonna drive me crazy, that do really good videos and tap in very clearly into the energies that we're working with. As I said, it's just going to be a generalized reading though. It's not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't, take pieces that do and leave the rest that do not. Sorry that I'm organizing everything. That was driving me crazy. So I'm pulling oracle cards for you right now. I'm going to pull one more and then we'll dive into it. We'll explain that a little bit, tap into the energy that you're working with in general, and then we'll get into a little bit more details within the next 2 weeks, as I said before. And then when I do pull your tarot cards, they are going to cycle from present energy into your future energy, which you're going to be cycling into and working with. So I just need one more card for you. Give me 1 second. One more card for Scorpio. Or not the first, but oh my gosh, mid energy. Cards are just flying out. So okay. Oh, that one's in too. So, oh my god, this card, Imrama. I want to say that's how you pronounce it, Imrama. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Tell me in the comments below if I butchered that. But wow. So, transformation is on the bottom, just so you know. Just know that. So, it seems like to me you're in the process or beginning. It just really depends on what energy you're working with. It depends and it changes from person to person. But it seems like to me that you are in the middle of a transformation or a transition on a spiritual level. Not so much in your physical. When you begin to start doing transformations within your spiritual vibrational level, that also changes your environmental level as well. Speaking in the terms of things will come to you that, challenge the way that you're trying to better yourself, challenge the way that you look at things and view things, you know, things along those nature. So there will be things that are being brought into your energy field that kind of help you to segue and further you within that transformation, or kind of like really finalize that growth and change. So that being said, it seems to me that you are going to struggle with having a lot of friction that you're met with, kind of like in your face friction at that. People who are just really not comfortable with watching you grow and change and transform. People that feel uncomfortable with that type of energy around them, because there are people that you're going to be dealing with who don't want to grow, who don't want to evolve, who don't want to change, and they don't enjoy watching others do that as well. So when we begin to get around that energy, it is something that really makes us want to halt what we're doing and kind of change and appease other energies around us or other people, so to speak. So that being said, I would say definitely don't do that. Don't dim yourself or bring negative thought or negative energy to what you're doing and the steps that you're taking to then better yourself as a person, as an individual, as you know who you are, because we're all in the process of trying to find who we are and what we want to do and how we want to present ourselves to others around us. So don't let other people who are stuck in their ways try to prohibit that growth because they're not as further along as you may be. And that's okay, because like I said, we all work with energy differently. You will understand that, Scorpio, because you're a very intuitive, very empathic sign. So you literally work with energies. That's why you are also known as that's kind of how I view Scorpios anyways, in my opinion, as a healer, someone who deals with compassion versus logic. You guys can be very logical at the same time though. You guys can be very, very logical. But I think that you guys come from a very heart um heart balanced kind of place. It's more emotional. It's like an emotional, intelligent, logic, intelligence. It's like a really weird combination you guys got going on. But as I said, you are being called to figure out what you want to do with this gift that you now have. That is now, I feel as though you're tapping into this gift. You're starting to understand it more than what you would have before, if that makes sense. So that's interesting energy. Okay. Whew, it's never an easy reading for you, is it, Scorpio? um, I was sitting here meditating though, and I wanted to know who I should do first for a reading, or what I should start out with, because my week's been kind of hectic. So, and I was drawn to you, Scorpio. So we're gonna do yours next. As I said before, I'm gonna start pulling your tarot cards. It's gonna cycle from the present energy that you're working with right now, then cycle down into your future energy. All right. So yeah, going through transitions, especially when you're shedding, God of heaven, going through transitions and shedding negative behaviors that don't serve you anymore, or kind of prohibit, why can't I talk? Prohibit, Jesus Lord, prohibit that growth or change is a little bit, difficult for, it doesn't matter really what sign you are. It's difficult for anyone, honestly. Because if we're going to think about it in a logical sense, like, so let's say an earthly, this reality sense, they talk about changing your negative behavior and, you know, doing all these different things because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to learn and gain new things. And by that growth, you then can bring in more things. It's just like if you were in a job or anything else. This guy here. There we go. Lord, that thing was right up in the way. So this is all about personal growth and personal change, which is always great, you know, but that's how, ooh. Okay, so we have, we have really beautiful energy mixed with very shitty energy. So we're going to start out with that anyways. I'm just going to let you know that now. 4 cups on the bottom, waiting for something to come to you, or being very complacent about how you feel about certain situations or people that are around you. Kind of being complacent almost in the sense of how I get that is you don't really want to start the ball rolling. You're like, I know that I have to start the ball rolling, but I don't really feel like I want to. Or I'm feeling apprehensive of doing that because maybe you understand the amount of work and effort it's going to take for you to start that. So that's interesting energy. So I'm wondering now, Scorpio, what you're trying to start up, or maybe you're trying to shed something. It could be something that's internal or something external to you. They won't say either or, so I guess I gotta go in. By the way, the cards that I'm using are the Light Seers Tarot deck. This deck actually just dropped. I've been waiting for this deck to drop, and I freaking love it. I love the way they read, and they're really beautiful to look at. And the other deck I'm using is Line Strider. It's another really good deck. I love them. I love them both. So, yeah. You start out with the Page of Sword energy. Page of Sword is all about needing to learn, or wanting, it's not even really even needing to learn. I think it's just you wanting to learn and understanding that you still have things and that you need to comprehend and learn in order to grow. This is also a person who is an observer, just stands to the side and watches everybody else just kind of run around and do their thing. Ooh, Ace of Cups in the reverse. Okay. What'd they say? I just lost it. I'm sorry. Ace of Cups in reverse. 8 of Wands in reverse. Oh my. You're not communicating just about anything, Scorpio. The Fool card with the 2 of Pentacles. You're not being very communicative with anyone. And I think it's because you're proing and conning something. You're trying to decide what the best course of action, best plan would be to implement something, which is probably what I was just talking about, remaining kind of stagnant in situations themselves because you're not ready to implement it. So you're not really even speaking on this situation, but I also feel like you're not emotionally invested in the situation either. It's like I feel that's what I just said in the beginning when I had that what was the card? Jesus Lord. I'm so sorry. The 4 Cups energy. And I feel like with your energy it feels really fragmented and almost like you had to close your eyes to focus on what your train of thought was, or what you were trying to get at, or what you were trying to do. It may be hard for you to really communicate clearly with others, and it's because you're so preoccupied on dealing with this one thing and trying to figure out how you want to go about implementing that. So, oh boy, Scorpio. But as I said, this is something that's going to be risky for you because the Fool is here. And I know Scorpios really, and I don't feel as though you guys make really quick, hasty decisions unless you feel as though you're comfortable with it, intuitively comfortable with the situation itself. And sometimes you guys do make decisions, but it's mainly based on your emotional tie to that. That's why I'm saying you guys can be very emotionally based as well, especially when it comes to people that you really care about. So you're going to make a hasty decision to appease that individual or that person. So, but with this situation, I feel like this is something that's really big to you. It's a big deal to you, but you're not emotionally investing in it at all. And you're not really talking about it at all. It's like you're trying to avoid the situation as much as possible because you're not ready to face the situation. But the Fool card is upright. So for me, in my eyes, as a reader in general, that indicates that there is a choice that needs to be made, that you're not going to know all the information about, that you're probably not going to feel comfortable with doing it. You're just not. Nobody likes to jump blindly into something. Nobody enjoys doing that. So it's like you're really apprehensive, but it's something that will be good for you because the Fool is upright. It's not as if it's going to be something that is terrible. It's just, I feel like you want to collect all the information before you go about doing anything regarding the situation itself, which, like I said, completely understandable. Completely understandable. I like to know all the small details about things too. Like I said, everybody does. Nobody enjoys just jumping in. So then you go into this energy of the Sun card in reverse. Now that could be either you're gaining more information and clarity about a situation, or this could be sadness or depression linked to something. The 5 of Pentacles, sadness because you don't know all the information regarding this situation, because the 5 of Pentacles upright is all about feeling left out in the cold. But in your situation, I feel like you do not know all the information that you want to know about the situation. It may be how someone feels about you regarding the situation, or maybe your role that you play in a situation, or your importance that you play in a situation. It's interesting. The Page of Pentacles. We got a lot of pages here. So 9 of Cups in reverse with the 6 of Pentacles upright. Wow. Okay. So I feel like you're beginning to learn about things that, as I said before, the Page of Sword, this is the needing and the want to learn new things. Page of Pentacles is the same exact way, except they're actually going out to go and find new things and new ventures to start up and to really immerse themselves into. They usually are generally people who are walking away from something that they've already mastered, but that doesn't have to be for you. That resonates with certain people. But with the nine of Cups being here in reverse, with the 6 of Pentacles being here, I really feel like it's an energy of almost like you are in a situation that's good for you. I don't think the situation is played out the way you wanted it to or hoped that it would play out. You're not getting how do they want me to put this? It's not as if you're not getting what you need from the situation, because you are getting what you need, very much so. I think it's just not the way you wanted to receive it, which is very interesting. It's because you're learning so many new skills from this situation that you're in, whatever it may be, but it's not the way you wanted it to happen. So it's bothering you because it's not the way that you expected it to play out. And maybe it's bringing in a little bit of sadness for you because you don't understand. It's moving, maybe it's moving so quickly that you kind of can't keep up with what's happening within the situation, or there may be chaos that's surrounding the situation itself that also kind of prohibits you from, why can I not say that word, prohibits you, Jesus, I promise I know how to speak clearly, I'm so sorry. But it's like prohibiting you from seeing, you know, the importance of the situation itself. You're not looking at that. You're looking at, well, I was supposed to get this and this and this from the situation. I expected to get this, this, and this from the situation, and that's not how it's happening. And so it's bothering you that it's not happening that way, which is very interesting to me. It's like you're getting what you want out of the situation. So I don't know, maybe it's a control thing for you, Scorpio. You want to have control over the situation. It's yourself, but you can't control, like I said, you can't control energies around you. You can't control how people choose to treat you in a situation. You can't control any of those things. All you can do is be a part of it and live it. You know, you can shift some things, but not everything can be shifted. Energy is energy. So that being said, we go into a Six of Pentacles, but now it's in reverse. So instead of having that equal give and take, we're not receiving that. We're not receiving equal give and take. There goes all the cards you literally need. Oh no, I need one more on. Ooh. Okay. Four of Wands in reverse. Okay. It's again, it just the way that this situation, whatever it is, Scorpio, that you may be dealing with, it's like it's not playing out the way that you thought it was, so you view it as a waste of time, or that you wasted energy and time, and you put energy and time into something that ended up wasting your time. But in all actuality, that's not the case at all. It's not the case at all. And it's like you're seeing like an inverted view of this. It's inverted. It's not the truth. It's almost there. The Page of Pentacles again. You have things to learn from the situation. The Seven of Pentacles upright, building something together. It's like a group effort. You're working with other people. You're all working hand in hand to achieve this one certain goal. It's this one goal right here, and everybody's coming from one direction, but you're all coming into one main goal. That's what everybody is looking at, is that one main goal. Everybody's going about it differently though. And so I think that's maybe what's bothering you, is everybody's not on the same page, or they don't process things as you process things. So you may do things a little bit more differently than everybody else does, and maybe you think that because you do it the way that you do it, that people are passing judgment on you, or maybe they're condemning you for that, or but as I said, whatever turmoil or friction or chaos that you're dealing with is really putting you off of this. It's making you not even want to deal with it at all. As I said before, it's almost like you feel as though it was a waste of time for you. But it's not, though. That's the craziest part. You have the Wheel of Fortune here and the Queen of Wands upright. The Queen of Wands upright is someone who is a very passion-based person. So they move from a passion base. They don't move from, and they're very action-oriented, and they're very quick moving. They move with quick energy. So, and it may not be very, how do you say, it's not perfected, it's not perfection, but it gets done. You know what I mean? So I feel like Scorpios move kind of at their own pace because they want to have everything done in a certain way, and for it to have almost kind of like that perfectionist approach to things, whereas others may not move the same way that you move. So again, there's something here that you need to learn, because the Page of Pentacles has now showed itself twice. There is something here that you need to look from a different perspective. And instead of looking at it from the way that the advantage point that you're looking at pull yourself from the situation. Look at it from almost like an aerial view of what is actually going on and what is playing out. Because whatever is playing out in front of you is what needs to happen in order for you to have that growth and that change. You just don't see it yet. And the Wheel of Fortune is here as well. So it's all moving in the right direction. I just feel like you don't think that it is, because it's not moving the way that you thought it would move. And as I said, that's a control thing. You have to let that go. You have to release it. You can't have control over everything. You just can't. I know we'd all love to. We'd all love to control our destiny and our fate and how that plays out and what people will be a part of that and what people won't be a part of that. You know what I mean? We all would love to have that control. But at the end of the day, we can't. And that's okay. You just need to become okay with that. So you move into the star energy, which is really beautiful energy. I'm not surprised. We'll probably still be moving with that energy with everybody's readings that I do so far, because we're in Aquarian energy. That's what we're working with. That energy, plus we're working with Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, I want to say, and opposing planets and or planets that are aligning with each other. Those are all the energies we're working with right now, which can be very positive or very negative energies. Like I said, every sign, every astrological energy that we're going to cycle into and the properties that it carries can either be shadow side or light. There's no in between, because there has to be a balance between those things. There has to be balance. So it really just all depends, Scorpio, on how you want to look at the situation itself. That's what it really boils down to, is how do you want to look at the situation? Do you want to look at it as if it's a problem or an issue, or do you want to grow from it? Because those are your decisions. This is all up to you. I can tell you what's going on. I can give you advice on how to handle the situation, but at the end of the day, you have free will. You can do whatever you want to do. So, that being said, link to this star energy, and it can't make this shit up, Page of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom. It keeps showing itself. There's something here for you to learn. No matter how much you turn your back from this situation, no matter how much you try to ignore the situation, this was in your last reading too, which I find very funny, because I was really interested to see what energy you would be working with after that reading. And it's all about taking these things, taking all the things that you've walked through and you've learned, and utilizing those as lessons for growth. Not as negative things, as positive growth. It's about growth. It's all about changing. It's all about transformation. You should be comfortable with that, because you literally, like in the tarot deck, your card is death. It's all about transformation, shedding, and changing and evolving. That's what we have to do in order to succeed, and you understand that out of anyone. So, the Star card basically holds that energy. It's not as strong as that energy is, but it holds that energy, because this is all about, like, look at her. She's holding this little balloon that's a spark of light, and she's holding it to her heart, to her chest, knowing and having the good faith that that's the way the situation will turn out is all that matters. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, is that you have the good faith that it will turn that way. That's what it literally invokes. It invokes being one with yourself and being okay with that, and being okay with others being who they are as people, and that is okay. And it's upright, so you're harnessing that energy. It's just, and the Tower card is here in reverse with the Queen of Cups. So let's just tackle that for a second. So we're avoiding a situation now by holding this kind of energy. And like I said, this Aquarian energy that you're going to harness in that will avoid situations that are confrontational, because we naturally as Aquarians are not confrontational people. We just are. We don't enjoy doing that. We hate confrontation. And honestly, so do Scorpios. You guys do not enjoy, like, don't get me wrong, you will stand up for yourself if you need to. I wouldn't mess with the Scorpio personally. But if it's something that you can just turn a blind eye to and be like, you know what? I don't even have time to deal with that. You will do it because you don't want to deal with this bull crap. You just don't want to. You don't see the need to. So, yeah. With that being in reverse, I really do feel like, and then the Queen of Cups right next to it upright, it really does entail that energy of just being very balanced and mature emotionally about the situation, but also coming from a place of love and compassion towards the situation or this individual or multiple individuals that you're dealing with at this point. You're trying to see and understand why these certain people are ticking the way that they're ticking, and then taking that and growing with that. And then learning in the process of doing that how to handle energies if they do end up popping up in your sphere, of how to handle those energies successfully without having issues, conflict, or drama, or any of those things that, you know, you hate dealing with anyways to begin with. So with the Temperance card in reverse and the Four of Wands in reverse, that tells me right there is an imbalance here that is, it's a very unhealthy balance here. And I want to say it's with a group of people because we have the Five of Wands in reverse at the very end of that. It's in reverse, so it's dying down. There's really not that much conflict anymore within this certain situation. But at the same point in time, it was there. So whatever energy that you were dealing with over on this side, it was stemming from this imbalance because you have the Four of Wands with the Temperance card, and they're both in reverse. So it's like this imbalance is causing this friction because you were trying to build this foundation with this group of people or this certain person, and there was just no balance there. There's no communication. There's no seeing eye to eye. There's no, you know, that's basically what, that's the feeling I'm getting from that. Temperance usually is just, and it honestly, temperance in my eyes is a traditional meaning in general, is all about being balanced and one with yourself. And again, this all goes back to being okay with being who you are. Accepting people for who they are. Now, when they're doing some crazy stuff, like on the side, you know, it's okay to shed that energy. I'm not saying stay around and just stick it out. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying when you walk away from that situation, be willing to understand why that person acts the way that they act. Because it's doing more harm to you to harbor that energy and be resentful about that energy. That makes sense. Jesus Lord. So it's like you're trying to move past this situation or this person. This other individual you're dealing with may not want to do that, though. They might want to continue on with this really negative, low vibrational energy, and they want to continue to keep cycling and drudging it up. And you're going to be on the side looking at them like, no, I'm not going to partake in that, but thank you for offering. Like, I'm going to go ahead and just get my stuff and go. I'm going to leave now. I'm going to head out. Like, I'm not going to deal with this. And that's up to you, but you're going to do it from a very compassionate standpoint. And I think that's what's going to trigger this individual because they don't know how to do that. So, wow. Wow, Scorpio. Okay. So, that's your current energy that you're in right now. And as I said before, we all cycle through energies differently. So you're gonna cycle through this when you cycle through this and when you end that cycle or that period that you're going through now. So I'm going to pull for your future energies down on the bottom. I'm going to see what we're doing with there. I feel like really, as I said before, you're dealing with a situation that's it's a very difficult, almost feels very complicated too. And that's why I feel like that's why the Two of Pentacles showed itself, because it's like you're trying to figure out how to go about dealing with this. The best way to deal with this, the best way to handle this. Like, how do I approach this? I just feel like you don't know how to, though. You don't know how to. So, that being said, why in the middle of the reading? Why not, though? Again, the Page of Pentacles. You have something to learn. Oh, no. You have something to learn. It's going to be a tough lesson, though. I feel like it's tough for you. The Five of Swords upright. It's tough for you. Because I think this person triggers you so much that you want to say something to them. You want to say something. I feel like I just heard it. I want to call them out on their shit. I want to call them out on their shit, but you can't. That is the lesson. You need to let people be where they are. Let them be where they are. We're all human. Like, I read cards and I try to help people, but I battle things every day. We're all humans. We all have these feelings. So just as much as you have this feeling towards this person, how do you think they feel? And I'm not trying to stand up for this individual or this group of people at all, especially if they're doing some really crappy stuff. But at the end of the day, we're all just human. We all cycle through things. And it's hard sometimes. It's hard to just let things go. It's hard. I know it is. The Five of Swords energy literally is Aquarian energy. It's petty, backstabbing energy. And when you're low vibrational and you're in that energy, that's how you act. That's how Aquarians will carry themselves. Very petty, low vibrational energy. It's like, oh, you said this, well, I'm going to say this back. Oh, you did this, well, I'm going to get you back then. It's very hard not to even deal with that energy because you get sucked into it. It's like, oh, I completely understand. I completely understand. It's hard energy not to be in when you're dealing with someone who is like that, because it's like you want to defend yourself, and you feel like the only way to properly do that with an individual like this is to be within that energy and to carry yourself the same way that that person is doing. But I'm telling you what, right now, that approaching it the way that you're approaching it, I'll have to applaud you, because that's teaching people to how they should be carrying themselves in situations like this. You may not look at it that way, but that's teaching people how to actually handle situations that are uncomfortable instead of being that way. Being the better, not the better person, the bigger person. Oh, Scorpio, being the better person. Being the bigger person, more often than not, pays off. You might not think it, but it does. It makes me cringe when I hear somebody say, be the bigger person. I'm like, but do I want to? And the High Priestess, there you are. The High Priestess. Being in tune with yourself. Do not let this person take you out of character. Why? What's the point? There is none. And you're starting to see that. You're starting to understand that. And you may have gone through like maybe like a childhood or something like that, or like maybe even a relationship with another person, or maybe just a sibling that you've had to deal with that does this. But you've been here before. This is it. The reason why it feels so familiar is because you've been here before. They're just presenting it to you in a different phase of your life. Well, how are you going to handle this now? Wow. They wanted me to tell you that. Seven of Swords in reverse. There was bullshittery going on. Definitely. Definitely. Because that card wouldn't show itself if there wasn't. That's just honesty, though. There was bullshittery happening. And you can see it. You can sense it. You can feel it. Even though you don't speak on it, doesn't mean you can't see it. And it doesn't mean you can't see a person or an individual the way that they really are. Can't stress that enough. You can. You may feel as though you feel crazy because you can see that, but you're not crazy. You're intuitive. That's your gift. You're almost, the High Priestess is about, in her eyes, if you can see it, her eyes are closed, but underneath them you can see her eyes. My eyes are closed. I'm not looking at the situation full on, but I see it for what it is. It's knowing. It's that energy of just knowing. Ooh, my God. Okay. Ugh. As I just said, Aquarian energy. Maybe dealing with an Aquarian around you right now. That is just not very happy. They're not very happy. And it's about a situation that you're all involved in as well. Woo! I can feel that person's energy. That does not feel good. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so let me explain this to you. This individual that you're looking at and you're seeing for what it is, this could be your energy or someone else's energy, but they're extremely stressed out right now. I'm gonna just put that out there. I can feel it. It's like that that sweat you get. It's not because you're actually hot, but it's like a sweat you get because you just start getting so overwhelmed. And like I can feel it. I can feel it. And like your ears start to get real hot. This person might actually turn red in the face or on the ears when they get upset or frustrated. And that's how you know they're starting to build up a little bit. And you can tell that they're kind of agitated. I don't think this person is intentionally doing this. Six of Wands upright. This person is not intentionally doing this. The Queen of Cups in reverse. You're both looking at each other. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. And the Ten of Cups in on the bottom in reverse. So there's no emotional fulfillment out of this situation whatsoever for either person involved, in fact, in this situation. And I feel like that's kind of why this feels similar. Maybe you've been in a position that this person has been in before. So you understand why they're acting the way they're acting. You just don't understand why they're reacting the way that they're reacting. Because maybe you have reacted differently to a situation that's very similar to this. Again, I have to say to you, there's things that you need to learn that you may think you know and understand about this situation, but there's more to it than what you think. There's more underneath the surface. Way more. That this person just doesn't speak on. They don't say anything about it. They just try to go about not speaking on it. And I feel like you're kind of doing the same thing, which is cool. But at the same point in time, it's imbalancing both of you. There needs to be communication here. This person, too, can be very vindictive as well. Excuse me. I'm sorry I did that in the middle of the video. I had to burp, though. So this person can end up being very vindictive, very cutting. They don't follow with the Hierophant being in reverse. It's funny because the High Priestess and the Hierophant is here, but theirs is in reverse. They don't follow the norm. The normal way of people handling things or doing things, they don't do it that way. They do it their way. And I think that's what's triggering you as well, is you're like, there's mainframes and there's things we had to follow and there's guidelines and there's ways we should do this and there's ways we should do that. And this other person's like, fuck that, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And maybe in a sense, the way that they are approaching it is the best way to approach it. You've just never seen it handled this way before. Which is also, I think, what's not like really triggering you in a negative way, but really catching your eye almost. It's like it's turning your head to the situation itself and you're like, what? Did that person really just do that? Or did that person really just say that? And maybe you're dealing with them on a very personal level. So when they say something to you or they do something to you, they're like, you're just sitting there almost awestruck. You're like, did they really just do that? But that's the way this person handles this. And with the Six of Cups, that's why I'm saying it's very reminiscent almost to you. It's like you understand from a deeper level why this person is doing what they're doing. And eventually this individual, or maybe even you, maybe this is the way you're acting outside and this is how everyone's looking at you and viewing you. It's vice versa. I feel like it's another person on the outside that you're looking at and watching doing this. And it's almost like with the Six of Wands being upright, they're being praised for it. And you're looking at them and you're like, I don't understand. How are they getting praised for this? But in all actuality, like I just said, the way that you handle things versus someone else handling things, you don't always know best. And vice versa. If you're dealing with someone who's looking at you this way, they don't always know best. And as I said, that's the beauty of being human. Because we learn from other people. We learn what we should be doing and what is really correct in our hearts, in our self-awareness, and what's correct in other hearts and other self-awarenesses around us. You know what I mean? So we're all connected to ourselves in a different way. We all express ourselves in a different way. And it's like you're learning this. It's like a learning curve to you almost. You're like, wow, this is kind of weird, but also I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Like, very interesting, Scorpio. Wow, this is an interesting reading. It's like you're speechless almost when it comes to this individual. Because I don't think you really are harboring animosity towards this person. I just feel like they're triggering you. I don't think you hate this person though. Like I don't feel that at all. I don't feel anger at all towards this person. I think if anything else, this person is it's intriguing to you to watch this individual work. You know, how they tick, how they work. It's intriguing to you. Because I don't think you have encountered someone like that before. You're kind of just like, but you've encountered situations that you're in and what you normally would see be how it would be carried out. That makes sense. This might be for a very specific set of Scorpios. This reading may be. So if it doesn't resonate with you, like I said, I'm really sorry I didn't get you this time, but someone needed to hear this. Because it's very specific. The Magician. Okay. Not in reverse, though. Upright. Trying to manifest something. Trying to bring something in. What are you trying to bring in, Scorpio? Ooh, the Devil in reverse with the Five of Cups upright. So we have two fives here. The Five of Swords and the Five of Cup. The Five of Cup is all about sadness. Deep sadness. Despair. With the Five of Swords, I explained that energy earlier. So it's like, sorry, I had to drink something. It's like you don't want to be involved in a toxic situation or connection with someone. Or you don't want to be sucked, like I said, you don't want to be sucked into that very low vibrational energy that others may be carrying around you. It makes you feel uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable. Come on, give me some more cards. Anything else on this? You're manifesting an environment that... It's too many. Queen of Swords in reverse showed herself again, though. So this is someone who is almost triggering. You got the Page of Swords again. Like I said, it's so interesting. It's like, it's almost like it's triggering you, but not in a negative way. It's like this person is intriguing you. Like you don't understand why this person works and moves the way that they work. You don't understand. You don't get it. Like you don't understand why. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse with the Knight of Swords in the middle in reverse. So this person isn't really talking or communicating with you either, though. It's like you'll maybe have little snippets of conversations here and there with them, or maybe if you're dealing with this person on a personal level, let's say you're dealing with them on a more personal level, it's like you'll have conversations with this person, but they're not in depth. And if you are dealing with an air sign, like I said, there's a lot of sword energy here as well. You may be dealing with an air sign. It doesn't really matter which air sign it is because all of them are very closed off. They don't really deal and go in depth with emotions and feelings and things like that. They don't enjoy speaking on those either. You know what I mean? Like they're not comfortable with doing that. So if you're expecting to have communication regarding this situation, you're not going to receive it the way that you think you are. They're going to show it to you in different ways. You just have to be intuitively tapped into yourself in order to be able to pick up those messages. Woo! To understand why this person is doing what they're doing, because you want to know why. You don't understand why. And maybe because you can see down to the core that this person really isn't the way that they're presenting themselves to be. They're normally not like this. And maybe you've been thinking that in your brain, like, they're normally not like this, so why are they acting the way that they're acting? I don't understand. And maybe they just are not prepared or ready to communicate to you why they're acting the way that they're acting. Maybe they're just not ready to yet. And it's up to you to be able to decide, Queen of Cups upright, what you want to decide to do. The Wheel of Fortune is upright here, but I find it interesting because the World card is in reverse. And again, that really does signify that you're just not ready to open up that can of worms. The Ace of Cups in reverse. You're not ready to yet. The Moon. It's like you want to keep it hidden. You don't want to see the full situation for what it is. Which is very odd to me. Very odd. Why? Maybe it's just odd to me because I personally enjoy gaining information. This person, again, the Queen of Pentacles upright, presents themselves as very balanced, very stable. Maybe that's who they are on the underneath because it's paired with the Moon card. That's who they are on the underneath. And I think it's intriguing to me because, again, this is very Aquarian energy almost. Whereas we can see people at face value, we know what they're presenting themselves as. We know what they're presenting themselves as, but we also know what's underneath that as well. We can perceive that. We don't have to have people tell us what they are as a person, as a core. We know. We know because we know. It's just knowing. And I think that's what you're struggling with. Like I said, you're opening, it's like you're unlocking this gift, but you don't know how to go about implementing the gift. So you can't just go up to someone and go, I psychically know that you're not this person, so why are you acting like you are? Like, oh my God, Jesus Lord. Stop it. Nine of Pentacles, oh my God, and the Two of Cups. Yeah, this is connection. This is a connection with someone. It's almost kind of like an energetic connection. An interlocking of souls almost. Like this person was meant to come within your field, your energy field, and they were meant to. If you're feeling this way, it's because they were meant to come within your energy field because they're teaching you something. And they're also maybe teaching you, because Scorpio, you guys tend to push things down and hide things down as well, that it's okay to be that way. It's okay to be that way because sometimes we have to heal things in order to feel better. Until we can do that, this is how we're presenting ourselves. But like I said, that energy that I just will go back and touch on it is that your gift is to the knowing gift. So when you know, you just know. And it'd be weird to go up to someone and say, intuitively, I know that you're not this person, so why are you acting this way? That would be weird. Especially if you don't know this person as deeply as you're about to know this person, because this is an energetic soul connection. You understand each other more than what you think. You're more similar than more than what you think. Trust and believe that. And it's going to smack you in the face, I think. You're going to be like, whoa, this is weird. And I think that's why you're not ready to really go into this, you're not ready to tap into this yet. You don't feel comfortable with doing this yet. You just don't. So that being said, that's why it's so uncomfortable. So we'll head into the High Priestess and we'll end it because we're at 47 minutes. But this was a really good reading. I liked this one. Wow, Scorpio. It's not as negative as you think it is, though. You're looking at this at a very negative angle, and you need to stop because there is something big here. It's a big lesson that you need to receive and learn. And this person is teaching you it, and you don't even realize that they're teaching you it. And this person doesn't know what they're doing either. They're just, honestly, I feel like they're just walking around being them. And I think that's what's like blowing your mind about this person. But they'll understand you a little bit more than what you think. Like when you speak to them, you may feel like they don't understand what you're saying or they're not receiving what you're saying, but they really are. High Priestess with the Four Wands. You know this person is supposed to be around you. You know. You can feel it. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friendship. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like that. It's someone who understands you. They understand you. They just don't have the energy right now to be able to reciprocate what you're trying to give to them. They can't do it right now. Their energy is just zapped. They can't do it. And it's because they have so much stress. The Hierophant, it's something in reverse. It's something that is completely reshaping your moral beliefs. It's shifting your whole world. And that is what transformation and shedding is. We shed the old things that we thought were useful within that time period that now they used to be, but they're not anymore. This person is literally, you're not speaking on it though, the Eight of Wands. You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. You're not ready to yet. The Magician in reverse, again, you're not ready to touch it. You're just not, and that's okay. You don't have to. You're just not ready. You're not ready to deal with it yet. And that's okay. Sometimes we just ain't ready to deal with things we're just not ready to deal with. Take your time. The Ace of Swords. It's going to come out, though. And this individual, I think, is going to say something to you before you say something to them. They're going to bring the clarity to the table. Because you're going to keep acting some type of way and acting some type of way and acting some type of way and acting some type of way. And finally, they're just going to call you on it. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're going to yell and scream at you. No, they're just going to be like, dude, why are you acting like that? Like, why are you being weird? Because I feel like this person actually is communicative as well. I just don't feel as though, and they probably were in the beginning as well, very talkative, very communicative. But as of this point, moment right now, they're not ready. They're just not ready. They're not ready. And neither are you. So you're pretty much fine with them not saying anything because you're not ready either. But eventually this will come out. It will. Whew, I liked that one. Yes. That one was great. I like that one, Scorpio. So I cannot wait to dive into the next one of your readings. It'll probably be the end of the month reading. End of the month energy. Or no. It'll be a little bit earlier than that, probably. It just all depends. Whenever I bring it out, I'll bring it out. Pretty excited about that one, though. I do wish you luck on this, Scorpio. And like I said, you got this in the bag. You know what you're doing. Just follow your intuition and follow what you really feel about the situation. And then everything will unfold the way it needs to, which I find very interesting as well. It's almost like there's divine intervention within this, and they're kind of just laying it out piece by piece by piece by piece. And that's why it's totally okay for that one person that you're dealing with, or a group of people that you're dealing with, and you on the other side and what you're dealing, oh my gosh, and what you're dealing with, to really, you know, just be okay with just staying within that state. So again, I wish you luck on that, Scorpio, and I will see you in your next video.